5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is Eunice, and I attended Academy of Christ the King, 2007 batch.
Ackosa, yeah, I'm Lawrence Daniels, 2007, yeah.
Academicians, this is Joyce Leniprim. I studied general arts and I completed in the year 2007.
Giles, O student 207 Academy of Christ the King. I hope you enjoyed this video.
And for me, after junior high school, I had a particular school in mind I wanted to attend, but I found myself at Academy of Christ the King. Nonetheless, it was another opportunity for me to get to know who I am and find myself as a better person than I thought I was.
At least everyone wanted the bigger schools, but I found myself at Ackosa, Academy of Christ the King. And at least I advised myself by that those in the bigger schools are not bigger than me, you understand, because you know your potential, right? And the school shouldn't derail you, you understand.
The story is a bit different because the truth is I actually finished JHS about a year before I went to SS, which means I spent 1 year in the house, which I should have been in secondary school, due to several family issues. So after that year, I went back to the secondary school, the school that I chose during my last years in JHS. Actually, I had admission to that school, but because I couldn't attend the school the previous year, I went back and the headmaster was like, they are sorry, they cannot admit me, it's late. So I said, okay, fine. So I had to actually walk to the headmistress of Academy of Christ the King, was Mrs. Abatich Menson, to actually sit one-on-one with her, because I was doing all this alone. My parents, sisters, nobody was with me during that time. So I had to go there, sit with her, and then explain my situation to her, and she gave me admission. I was really happy that at least, finally I've gotten admission to go to secondary school. And that was the most important thing. The school that I was about, the name of the school didn't mean anything to me. The fact is, I have a school to attend, and I was really, really happy about it.
For me, was a whole turning point. I didn't know I was going to be there, but I had to make do of the situation. I had to make sure that I made my time relevant, and I knew what I wanted to get at the end of the day. In the beginning, for me, though it was a new surrounding, I was thrilled, of course, about the fact that I left the city in which I was all the way to Cape Coast, and it was my first time there. So I was looking forward to all the things that could come around with it. And
me, my expectations were that I would spend the first year in Academy of Christ the King, and then the next year move back to the school that I was supposed to attend. So because of that, I didn't really take my first year in the school that serious, and it really affected my academic performance during my first year in school. So after the first year, I went back to this school of mine, which I will tell you maybe at the end of this video the name of the school. So I went back, and the headmaster there told me, no, if they would admit me, then it would have to be that I would have to go back to Form 1 again. So I was like, what? I've already spent 1 year of my education without, doing nothing in the house, and if I'm to go back again, then it means that I've spent 2 years doing nothing. And my mates were already advancing. So I said, to hell with everything, I'm going to stick in academia, I'm going to concentrate and learn. And that is where everything changed for me. So to me, for me, if you are here now and you are thinking of going somewhere next year, it is really going to affect you academically. So you have to be specific, concentrate now, and know that this is where you are and you are there for a purpose. And that is really going to help you to prepare you for the task ahead.
And in school, my experiences mostly, I had a chance to play on the basketball team, and I played football for a while. I was in Cathedral, by the way. I'm sure when you get your houses, you know where you belong. And it was a good experience, and so I loved that part. It brought out the sporting part in me. And then with regards to how the school was able to help me get to where I am today, you see, we always put all our hopes in where we are, forgetting that we are individuals, and then whatever we do, the decisions we take, it takes us to the next level. So whatever you intend to do, it all comes from within you and nowhere else. So the school has helped in a way that you get to make some decisions, and then you realize that it is from your upbringing. It is not really about where or what you have done with regards to the school. And then, yes.
When it comes to personal experience, believe me, I really enjoyed being in Academy of Christ the King. From academic to sporting activities, and anyway, I was the sports prefect during our time, and I really enjoy every bit of it. We didn't, even during our time, we didn't have any kind of park on our own, but we still manage to do certain things. We go for training in another school, and I believe even now situations are better, and I would have been happy things were like this during our time.
There are times when you can get sad that you didn't get the school that you wanted, but it all boils down to you as a person. It boils down to what you want, the things you want to achieve, and how you don't just pass through the school, but then the school passes through you. What I mean by that is, when you attend a particular school, whether famous or not famous, at the end of the day, you leave there as one person. But it is up to you to convince the rest of the world that I went here and these are what I have to show for it. So before people even start to ask you, where did you school? Something about you should tell the person, or should prompt the person to want to ask you where you are coming from. And that was how it was for me in Christ the King. And
the teachers, thumbs up to them. Siri, Mrs. Carol, Mrs. Quay Green, and the math teacher, Charlie. They really shaped us, and they instilled discipline in us. So it has carried us so many.
Going to the university after senior high school, you meet so many people from different backgrounds, different schools, some, and then they come and then they try to tell you about theirs. But let me tell you what makes the difference. The difference is you going to a particular university and then everybody is intrigued about your personality. Everybody wants to know, why are you the way you are? Why do you do the things you do? And then that is where it's intriguing. So when you start to talk or when you start to do the things you do, everybody gets that thing going, like, okay, I want to get to know this person. Yes, they might have their schools, but this is what we
It has carried us so many places, and it has really shaped us. It has really shaped us. Because from there, I didn't stay home at even for a day. I went straight up to University of Cape Coast. I graduated, finished my service in 2012, and currently I'm a corporate relationship manager at Star Life, and it's a plus. It's a plus. And my advice for you, my fellow brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters, I'll just say that you know this random, you understand. Just study hard, learn. Don't let the school be something in your head. Just learn. Read your books. Just learn. You make it. You make it. Yeah, the advice I give you. Anyway, I'm Lawrence Daniels. Yes, take care. Bye.
Yeah, so for last words, it's pretty simple. I would say that in life there are no accidents. Okay, wherever you are today, you should know that you are there for a purpose. I don't know who or where I would have been now if I had attended the school that I said I wanted to. I don't know where I would have been. But the reality of the fact is, or the reality of the matter is that I believe everything that I went through in life up to this time is a way of God preparing me to be at where I am now. And that is the most important thing you should know, that you are in Academy of Christ the King for a purpose, and it is up to you to find the purpose for which you are there. As a student, about 80% of your success depends on you. How you take advices serious or not, how you will be serious in class or not, the kind of friends that you walk around with, and how these friends are going to influence you as you move on. So I would advise you to take your books serious, to take sporting activities serious. I mean, if anybody tells you that you can't learn and at the same time do sports, that person is telling you lies. I mean, tell that person I said I'm a complete example of someone who was able to combine sports with academics, and I believe was able to make it. So I believe that whatever happens to you in life, you have to look at the brighter side of it. Okay, look at the fact that, hey, yes, I mean, I'm not getting the opportunities that others are getting, but remember, at least there is something about where you are that others are also not getting, and that is this thing that you should be able to should be able to have a glimpse of it and to make the best use out of it. I mean, most of these advices that we would give you, you wouldn't really value it today because we also didn't during our time. But I mean, experience is the worst teacher. People will say experience is the best teacher, but I tell you, experience is the worst kind of teacher. Experience is the kind of teacher who gives you the exams before the lesson. And who does that? Do you want to write exams before lessons? No. So we don't have to always experience certain things before we learn from it. Sometimes we can learn from other people's experiences. Okay, so just listen to whatever we are telling you, even though it might not be so practical to you today. But I mean, it is after school when you move on to university and you now look at other people who are also coming from other schools, the way they behave, the way they go about doing their things, how even they struggle to be able to fit into the university system. That's when you realize that, oh, okay, it seems that I had a better training than these people. Because believe me, some of these big schools, during WASE, you see them pass with higher grades, and about a lot of people from these schools will enter into the university, and after first year they will ask them to go home because they are not used to the university environment. Because in the secondary school that they attended, they were being spoon-fed. Okay, they were being spoon-fed and taught in a way to only pass WASE, but not to advance them to the next level of their academic life. But in academy, the teaching and the learning environment there is exactly the same as you see when you go to the university, where students are supposed to do most of the work and not lecturers. And that is when I realized that, okay, so all this while I've been having an upper hand over these guys, but I was envying them. So that's the difference. I went to the university right from first year in university. I started teaching my mates, people from the so-called big schools that you think, oh, these guys are good and they should rather be teaching you. I started teaching right from first year. Mention any big school that you can think of in Ghana, I will show you a student from that school that I have taught before. You understand? So it's not about how big the school is, but it's about how big you are in the school. I mean, it's also the fact still remains that attending Academy of Christ the King also doesn't make you a better person automatically. But at the end of the day, it will all go down to your personal strength, your personal sacrifices, how you put yourself into the whole system and you let the system mold you. That is what will determine what you go out of the school with. You understand? So I would finally tell you that learn, concentrate on your books. When it comes to sports, make sure you engage in it, because a healthy mind lives in a healthy body, as I will tell you. And hey, you don't really know what is going to take you far. It might be even the sports that is going to take you to places. I hope you people know of this lady who plays for Ghana women's soccer team. Yeah, so I had the privilege to work with her, I think once or twice as a sports prefect during her time. So that is something that nobody knows what will take you to places. Okay, so whatever you find yourself doing at any point in time, it's either you are doing it with all your 100% or you are not doing it. That is the advice I'll give you, and I hope and pray that you enjoy your life in the school. And as time goes on, I would personally be happy to have personal contact with some of you to be able to keep on advising you and to be able to contact you in times of you need any help or something that I think I can give. I will be happy to do it. So chill out, enjoy yourself in the school, and pray very hard, because it is the most important weapon in life. You have to pray. You have to give reference to God, because without Him there is nothing that you can do. Bye.
Oh,